Lionsgate Kingdom Story Company presents, based on the best-selling book, The Best Christmas Pageant Ever, centers on the Hermans, absolutely the worst kids in the history of the world. But this Christmas, they're taking over the local church pageant. And they just might unwittingly teach a shocked community the true meaning of Christmas.
Yay.
Where is the mother? Where is the mother? Millie, what did you think about
I never
this
saw
movie?
her in that movie.
Uh-huh.
The mother of these five kids.
Six
Six kids.
crazy kids.
What a great movie. What a beautiful movie. I love the way it started, Beto, because this woman from a church, nobody believes that she can do something. And they're having this play like for years and years. It's like a
75 years.
Beautiful tradition, right? And the girl who was in charge broke her legs. So now like, oh my gosh, who's going to do this? And that's how I love the story. Since the beginning, somebody who said like, oh, you think I can do this? I'm going to do this. And then, I feel like the whole movie is like a challenge.
Yes, exactly. I mean, and if you ever try to do something where the odds are against you, right? That's why it's so relatable, Millie. And you were telling me that one challenge is that pageant. Like, what does that even mean? I had to research the word and try to translate it into Spanish. But growing up, I remember having kind of like plays in my church where we had to do similar things, like play who's going to play Jesus and Mary and baby Jesus. I mean, Joseph and Mary. And so, I mean, that's fun because it brings me like back childhood memories, right? And you were telling me about a childhood memory, Millie, that you got to play, like whoever maybe hasn't gotten to play in a play in their church, right? So tell us about that because I think it's so relatable.
Well, I had the opportunity to be Magdalene.
Mary Magdala.
Mary Magdalene, the one who is like crying.
Say it like Jonathan Rumi. Mary of Magdala.
Magdala. Yeah.
Yes.
So it's pretty heavy, when you're trying to be someone that you're not.
Did you try to
I cried.
embrace the character?
Too. Oh, yeah. Like so sad. They chose me a few times.
Yes.
Because I was doing such a good role.
Yeah. And this movie made you cry? Do you think it was bringing you those memories back? Or you were relating to the girl?
Well, so many points. One, who was Mary? And the way she was, she said that these girls are like, I just want to be someone different, somebody good. Because these kids were a mess. The mom and the dad were not in the picture. And that's the other thing who hurt me because I grew up like that. I grew up poor and my mom working all day long. I remember some days were like 11 o'clock, 12 p.m. And where is my mother? She was working.
Wow.
And we were lonely and I would go to sleep and my sister always like waiting for my mom to come. But I was so tired. It was like, I'm going to bed. But my sister, La Güera, Rosie, she always wait for my mom. So in that picture, the mother never show up. And I was like,
neither does the father, right?
Because at the church, all the people were there pointing at these kids like, how are you going to let them do this? Look at them. They're a mess. They're going to ruin everything. They smell. They're not clean. They have a bad habits. Like, we always been doing this and we do it good. You're going to mess up this thing. But the other thing, nobody wants to be in the play because these kids were rude. Like, if you say that you're going to do it, I'm going to,
Yes. As Latinos, it's so relatable, Millie, because it looks so much like the community we live in here in Newport, Costa Mesa, California area, where, I mean, when I saw this movie, Best Christmas Pageant Ever, I'm like, when did we get to become, as a church, like a church for rich people? Like almost rich people only, right? Like, because all the people that come, and I'm not saying anything against that, I mean, that's fine. Jesus is for everyone, and that's one of the points of the movie. But I think it's a little bit of what's trying to portray that we make Christianity be like this polished thing where if you come to church, you need to have it all figured out. You know, in this case, this church is like, this is our 75 anniversary of doing the pageant. So it needs to be perfect. It needs to be pristine. It cannot have any flaws, So when these wild kids sign up for the play, all the obstacles start to come in, but also the question, who did Jesus come for? Why was he born? And then all the points that sometimes the more we celebrate Christmas, the more we go to church, the more church becomes a thing where it's all nice and clean.
See, I want to cry again.
Yeah.
I remember a piece of the movie, almost at the end, spoiler alert, that this girl who's going to make the role of Mary, she decided to wear different clothing.
Oh, yes.
To be more realistic. And I just want to cry because,
cry, Millie.
We paint the Virgin Mary with a beautiful outfit, clean and white, how we saw her in the picture. But imagine everything, at that moment, what she passed through. I don't think she was wearing the best outfit.
She's been traveling.
They were poor, probably smelly and dirty, and the girl, when she studied the Bible and found that about this beautiful story and the representation, she was like, let's make it real. This is not real. If I'm going to do this, she wants a real baby, but they were looking for babies and nobody wants to give her the baby for the play because they knew something can happen to their babies because the bad experience or the bad ¿cómo se dice? Reputation. The bad reputation that this girl is like, no, she's gonna hurt my baby.
Yes.
So they use like a fake baby, and she was like, I know we don't have a real baby because of me. And yeah, she was like doubling too. Like, I'm gonna do this. I'm not good. I'm not pretty. I'm not sweet. But the whole point is I want to do this interpretation because I can be somebody else. And that's us, Beto. When we come to Jesus, we want to die ourselves so that we can become somebody different, somebody sweet, somebody, loving in any time of our lives.
Wow.
Because we're not like that as a humans. We hate. We fight.
Wow. Yes, that's a great point, Millie, because Jesus brings out the sweetness. He brings the sweetness out of you, right? So in this case, the Hermans who have been, the bullies, the wild ones. And I'm just thinking of our community, Millie. So I'm like, who can ever give an opportunity to like the kids in our community who are like that, who are wild, right? And it's a call. This movie is really a call for the church to wake up. If your church is all like, it's good that it's polite. It doesn't matter, if you're rich or poor or whatever, everybody can come to Jesus. But if your church has become maybe accustomed to everything nice and neat, and there's no room for the outsider to experience Jesus, there's a problem, right? And these people had to deal with that problem.
Imagine we are bringing our community, like the 100 kids we have here at church, and bring them to a cute church on Newport Beach for the festival. I just imagine them, bring them all over here. Like, they will be
wild.
scared.
Yes.
Because they're not prepared for that. And they have good hearts. We can, maybe we need to try it to see how it is.
And I think that's the point of Christmas, that it's a reminder, in a society where we get so accustomed to celebrating everything every year and everything so often, right? Like we have, 4th of July, or we have like these festivals that we do, right? Every so often. It's always marked on the calendar, right? So Christmas becomes that, it becomes, here comes the Christmas season and all the like all the Christmas stuff you can buy at Home Depot starting in July and things like that. It becomes crazy, right? And this movie is a reminder of what is Christmas is all about.
Comes more like a tradition than a celebration.
Yes. So, great movie. We would love to hear your comments on it. Maybe what moved you. I'm going to say, and we always give spoilers. It doesn't matter to us. Whenever you watch this video, we're so glad that you do. But my final thought, Millie, is the gift that the kids bring to baby Jesus, right? Because in a sense, when they're reading the scripture and they're bringing myrrh and frankincense and gold. I mean, maybe I understand gold, right? But what are these gifts about? They don't really understand it. So what they do is they bring Jesus something that for them means something.
And have value.
And has value for them, right? Food in this case, right?
Because they don't have food. Somebody with a huge heart brought it like a turkey.
Yes.
And they're fighting over the turkey and they want the turkey. So at the end, instead of bringing myrrh and gold and frankincense, they brought this huge turkey.
Frankenstein.
They really want to eat. But they thought, that would be so nice if we bring to our king. They put it super realistic, for them.
Yes. So what would you bring to Jesus if you wouldn't bring, frankincense, myrrh, or gold? What is it in your life that it's so important that you would bring to baby Jesus as a gift? For coming into this world and for coming into maybe your life and for allowing you to be a part of it all, right? So I think that's one of the themes of this movie. Really well done, directed by none other than Dallas Jenkins, who now
love you, Dallas.
Half of the world loves.
Yes,
and half of the world maybe doesn't know him. But yeah, he's a great director, great movie based on a book we haven't read, but maybe this is one of those cases where the movie actually points you to the book.
Yeah.
Right? So go and read it.
For us.
And what would you say is your final emoji for the movie, Millie?
I will say, for me, so inspired.
Inspired emoji. Okay. For me, I would give it a holy emoji. To me, holiness means the other. And I think this is what this movie focuses about. It focuses on the other. So I give it a holy emoji. Which emoji would you give it? Okay, maybe choose one and let us know in the comments. We're so glad that you came here to watch this video with us. We love to do Christian movie reviews. We love to talk about Christianity, theology. We have guests on our show. We have episodes where we talk to authors, politicians, musicians, pastors, people from our community. So if you like to hear more from us, subscribe to the channel. We also have a channel in Spanish. And you can always find us at our website, ChristianPodcast.com. We'll see you on the next one.
See ya.
Bye.
Ciao, ciao.